Well, we did it. We held our very first online con and we think it was pretty dope. We had great speakers from some of our favorite people in nerd culture missions, played a metric ton of games both in person and online, and I'm pretty sure that I ate my body weight in beef sticks. So how was LTN Con received, and what were some of our favorite moments? Well, that's exactly what we want to talk about this week on the Free Play Podcast.
You are listening to the Free Play Podcast with Bubba Stallcup, Matt Warmbier, and Kate Katawaki, part of the Love Thy Nerd Podcast Network.
What's up, nerds? My name is Bubba Stallcup, and you're listening to Free Play Podcast, part of the Love Thy Nerd Podcast Network. And join with me, as always, are my co-hosts and a couple of the co-founders here at Love Thy Nerd, Matt Warmbier.
What up?
And Kate Katawaki.
Hello.
Hey guys, we are now on LTN Radio.
LTN Radio.
I'm so excited.
I love that, Matt. You put your hand up to your headphone like you're some sort of like disc jockey.
No one can see it, but that's
fine.
Doing.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
We're doing fine.
Yeah, so we are now on LTN Radio, which you can get to that by going to ltnonair.com. If you're not already there, you're listening on some other syndicated podcast spot. And I'm freaking jazzed about it. Matt, you've elevated yourself from making Spotify playlists to being, I guess, a legit like DJ. I guess your hand to ear was.
Yeah.
I helped him with it. So.
Kate, don't you freaking dare! Let me have this one. She gave me like 10. Okay, give me one break. I had her look it over and see if there's anything I was really missing because I trusted her 1999 opinion.
For 99 opinion?
Because she was born in
80s
I would know everything about the 80s if I was
right.
born
Because she was in a band that toured. She has to know 80s stuff.
How much KSM was on there?
All of it. That's the entire playlist. And most of these ladies were born in the late 80s.
No, I want to do a big push to Matt Coker about getting all the KSM stuff on there.
I want all the Bob Marley stuff on there. No one listens to me.
No push. No, we'll just mandate it.
So let it be written.
You start using words
done.
like or else.
Else, yeah, and then everyone will turn it off. So.
Well, yeah, they'll turn it off or else. Yeah. But no, there's a bunch of stuff on there. Our podcasts are going to be on there. He's got a morning show, the Backroom Morning Show that him and Mo are doing. I listened in a little bit. I haven't had a chance to like really catch a lot of the like the spoken word stuff, like the podcast, because like legit, if you're not tuned in at the right spoken, yeah. I don't know why I said spoken word.
You mean original program?
No, I like the spoken word. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to catch your programs, your NPRs. Yeah. Scooby Doo da pow. But I haven't had a chance to do that because legit, they're on before your boy's awake.
What time are you waking up?
This is not important. Later.
Yeah. What time?
Later.
I woke up nice and early for LTN Con.
Same.
You did.
Ooh,
yeah. You did not. Get out of here. I had to wake you up.
What?
But I still got up. I was usually up already. Don't you dare.
30 more minutes.
Yeah. Like usually what had happened is like Matt, you would come in and
scare you awake.
He's like, open the door and Bubba?
Time to get up, Bubba. Time to get up, Bubby.
And my alarm would have already gone off. The first couple of days, I didn't know what the heck was going on. Like my alarm, I would like look at my phone. It would be like, hey, you're on snooze. And I'm like, nope, that wasn't me.
No, I didn't.
That was the ghost of snoozy's past, I guess.
And then you had to get up, then you had to do your hair, then you had to eat your breakfast.
I had to shower. No breakfast.
You had to do your big morning routine.
I don't do breakfast. If I do breakfast, everybody has a bad day. And having to be like legit live and in places at specific times, it was just better for everybody if I only.
You had that one
sticks.
bite that one time.
Yeah. I did, but like Erin would come in and she'd be like, "Hey, what do you want for breakfast?" I'm like, silence.
Air.
Yeah. Because Matt was already making me drink coffee at what felt like 4:30 in the
What do you
morning.
mean making
You guys drank so much coffee. When I was sitting there watching
It
you guys
wasn't
do
a
your
lot.
little morning show, it looked like you were drinking a lot of coffee. That's why I said be careful
No,
with your gut
Matt
and
made
stuff.
like this much coffee.
Don't
Well, then
you
Aaron
freaking
brought in that
dare.
other coffee and just started pouring it.
Oh,
in
he
the
made
cup.
a whole pot.
We made lots of coffee. I only brought enough in for us to sip on while we chatted.
Just a sip.
Okay. Well, because it always felt like, and for those of you who have no idea what we're talking about, we kicked off LTN Con every morning, Saturday and Sunday. We kicked it off with Matt and Bubba in the morning. And it was there he goes with the DJ again. And I haven't heard anything negative. I'm sure that there are 1,000 negative things, but people enjoyed that and they want more of it. So we're talking about how to do that.
I want Kate's opinion.
I actually really liked it.
Okay. Wow.
Well,
Look
that's
at that.
too bad.
We're in.
I even got
Now I don't
up
wanna do it
to
anymore.
make sure that I was awake by the time the morning show started so that I could be in the chat. Otherwise, I would have just left it and not even, gone in there. Just let you guys do your thing.
I mean, it's pretty
Say
much.
best of luck.
It was like free play light is what it was.
Yes.
It was more sophisticated. You guys had little bowls of
What?
fruit.
Can somebody
You
write
guys
this down,
had,
please?
a little
Write
drink
this
of
down. She just called me
coffee.
sophisticated.
We don't have any of that here on Free
I'm
Play.
drinking
You guys had little
coffee
and
right
little
now.
orange
What are you
slices.
talking about?
you're
Listen to
not.
this.
That's right. I learned you got to slurp. You got to explosively slurp it, so it touches your palate,
Yeah.
your glottal.
All the glottals. I don't know what that word is, but
I learned so much about coffee. Matt, you blow my mind with your coffee knowledge.
You got fooled because he read the back of the label on the back.
there was no back
Either-
label.
front of the label.
Front of the
There
label.
was it was a very small descriptor like pairs well with blah.
Yeah. Well, still, that I looked at the bag 100 times and only saw it like the last time I looked at it. So, big ups on you, Matt, for being able to read.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I would like to thank my mom who taught me.
Congratulations.
But I learned so much about coffee. I learned that you got to peep that smell.
Mm-hmm.
You can cover it and then peep it. I found myself doing that this morning when I was drinking my own coffee.
What were you drinking?
And it wasn't nearly as impressive because the coffee I have doesn't have those notes and tones and all sorts of
was it
stuff.
like Folgers or something?
Well, it was the best part of waking up.
Okay.
I'll just say that.
Great.
Yeah. No, I don't drink Folgers. It was something. I think we drink some
was
HEB
something.
Cafe Ole kind of something or another.
HEB.
But it was pretty good. I still am legit blown away by how well that first one, that Rowlett, paired with the coffee cake.
You should have taken some with you.
Wow.
I should have.
Well, sorry.
Do you know why it's
gone.
called that? The brand?
Rowlett?
Yeah. Because that's where the coffee company, this little bean of mine, is based out of. Rowlett,
read that.
Texas.
Really?
Yes.
What's Rowland then?
Don't know. Never heard of her.
Whoops. Wrong question. Moving on.
Isn't that your dad's name? I don't know. Rowland?
What's your
Well, yeah,
dad's name?
Rowland
Yeah,
Stalkup.
Rowland's my dad.
Michael
That guy's my
Bubba
dad.
Rowland Stalkup Sr. The first.
But I really enjoyed that. And we're going to find a way to bring that back. Matt and I have been talking about how to do that on Twitch. We just have no content in the morning. So, it's something that we could do, if not every day. That sounds like a nightmare. If not every day, maybe once or twice or something like that a week.
Maybe
We haven't.
5 a.m. start.
I'm in. I love waking up early. You all know me. I love waking up early.
I've never heard you say that.
Oh, right. That's somebody else. That's not me.
As long as you fill out the correct forms, Matt, I think that you being up is absolutely okay.
Okay. I'm in.
Yeah. Take inventory. Do something
Done.
while you're doing nothing.
2.
We've also talked a little bit about doing this here podcast, Free Play, on Fridays on our Twitch channel. And now that Matt has his fancy schmancy new Computron, I think we can do it.
Maybe.
I think
that
we can.
I think that we can. I'm going to talk for just a hot minute.
All right. I'm
about
going to go
that
to the bathroom
computer.
then.
Okay. Yeah. You got to go take a shower?
Yeah, just real fast.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
No, I'm not. I'm just kidding.
You have done it before. That's why.
I will do it and not announce it. I'll run away, and you all know. We all have this. We have this unspoken rule that if someone has to step away, the rest of us just
keep it going.
Keep it going.
You roll it on out.
Mm-hmm.
But Matt's computer. So if you're not familiar, on stream I've talked about this ad nauseum. That OBS is just not at all. It's not at all optimized for Mac. So like 1,000 things are going to go wrong. Your CPU usage is going to go through the roof. We had a lot of stuff happening on Matt's computer, his brand new, gaming streaming PC. We had a lot of stuff going on running through OBS. And I was watching that CPU usage, and it never once got above 3.4%. And I was like, barf. I hate that and love it at the exact same time.
Man. Yeah, both.
Because when I try and do stuff, it's like, hey, that'll be 230% of your CPU if that's cool.
That's not an exaggeration. That did happen to you, but it was like 154%.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
How is that even possible? We've never figured out.
It's just all the percentages.
Matt's legitimately was like 3.4. Like we're talking running 2 cameras into 2 separate programs, those programs running in the background, Matt streaming at, 6,000 kilobits per second on his output, high definition, 60 frames per second, just maxing that piece out as best as we could.
It was not maxed out at all. He could have run twice as much easy.
I mean, at least twice as much. So we hadn't run your game capture into it, but I can't wait to max that thing out and just see exactly like how beefy that thing is going to be. But hey, thank you to everyone who, if you give on stream, it goes towards stuff like that.
Yes.
And we were talking a little bit about, when I get my PC made, it's going to be very similar to Matt's, and we'll be able to do even more stuff. So I can't wait. We've got Frost pretty well tricked out. We, kind of tweaked his stream a little bit, and man, 60 frames just looks so good on him.
It really
I was
does.
watching his stream last night. It's just absolutely wonderful. But make sure that you guys are following us. If you're not already over at twitch.tv/lovethynerd, and hit that follow button and the bell to get notified when we go live. And also just hit us up in Discord. lovethynerd.com/Discord to get into that. And just can't wait to see you there and hang out with you, build community, do all sorts of stuff. Like if you're listening to this, you are the absolute best part of us. Aside from Jesus, obvi, like you all being here, you're the best of us. You're the reason that we get to do what we do, whether you're just praying for us, being active in the community, or if you're giving to us monetarily through like lovethynerd.com/partner or something like that. Any way that you are a part of it, being a part of LTN Con specifically just was the absolute best. And they're making fun of me because I'm using my hands to talk.
I'm stretching my wrist.
All 3 of us are just making little hand motions.
I didn't even look at you. I was copying Matt because
I was stretching. I'm old.
Hey, well, you gotta fight that carpal tunnel.
That's right. You gotta namaste in bed.
Namaste.
Yeah. Welcome to the
namaste in bed. Okay.
Namaste in bed. Oh man. Hey, since we are now on the radio, we have a completely new platform that we're using, and a new way that we're breaking down the show in segments. So we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back at the top of the hour, we're gonna be talking all about LTN Con. We're gonna give you the lowdown, the dirty on how it went for us. Kate, I want to hear how it was for you on your side. And we'll talk about some of the stuff that happened on socials and how you, the listener, how you interacted with LTN Con. And I cannot wait to talk about that and say again, thank you for everything you've done. But hey, stay right here on LTN Radio, and we'll be back at the top of the hour with more talk about LTN Con right here on the Free Play Podcast.
Hello and welcome everyone, this is Nerdy Definitions, and I'm your host, Scott Matthews. Now, despite my phenomenal British accent, I do not consider myself much of a nerd. Therefore, in teaching you these nerdy definitions, you and I will be learning together. Today's term is the acronym AFK. And, it seems I forgot to include the actual definition in my show prep for today. So, we'll just wing it. AFK, I'm almost certain, is a gaming term, and it means always freaking king. That's right, it's a celebratory term. One exclaims upon victory over his opponents. You win the latest bout on Fork Knife, and you get the honor of exclaiming, AFK, AFK, because you are claiming the mantle of always freaking king. So, next time you win a game, shout out AFK, and then go get yourself a celebratory Mr. Pibb. This has been Nerdy Definitions. I've been Scott Matthews. Have a delightful rest of your day.
Welcome back to Free Play. My name is Bubba, and I'm joined with Matt and Kate. We are three of the founders here at Love Thy Nerd, and if this is your first time with us, welcome.
Hello.
Welcome.
Matt, you want to say something?
Are you going to sing?
Hello.
Okay.
There is no Matt, only Zool.
I thought you were going to sing or something.
No, I'm fine. I just can't click or clack anything, so I really have to pay attention to the podcast because you get like this keyboard that has a lot of clack to it, and I just have to watch you all. I can't search Amazon, I can't order stuff, I can't
I was going to say
set up messages, like whatever, because like
can't do your online shopping.
Honestly, Matt, we can get you different keys if you don't want to click and clack. Like,
No.
you can change those keys on the keyboard.
it's okay.
How about you give me that keyboard?
No, I feel
I
great.
don't know what
I'm
I'll
fine.
do with it because I have Mac.
I'm fine.
But you give me
plug it
that
in.
and
You can
figure
use it.
something else out.
Yeah, just put it in the
No, it's
bathroom.
fine. Here I am. I'm fully invested.
Thank
This
you.
is going to be a new Matt. I'm
Brand new
a
me.
little scared.
Brand new me.
Hey, we had LTN Con this past weekend online for the first
Yes.
time ever in the history of the universe.
Woot.
And I think it was freaking dope.
Me too.
Oh, yes, also same. I also
Yeah.
did that same thing.
Trying not to have like rose tinted glasses, right? But to think and Matt took his glasses off. Matt's having some eye issues. He
Can't hear. Once he takes his glasses off, he can't hear.
I'm fine.
But I really not trying to be, like it. LTN's my kid, so I'm not trying to just be like, oh, look how cute my kid is, and it's just a complete uggo or something like that.
Uggo muggo.
But like, I feel like LTN
funny.
Con was actually legitimately really awesome. And
Yeah.
so like, I just kind of want to unpack that a little bit. We'll talk about some of the stuff that we did and how it kind of was perceived from our end, putting it on. And then Kate, we can kind of talk a little bit about how it was perceived by people on socials and, how they were sharing stuff. But we started off, Matt, at Frost's house. And I can call
Wednesday
him
night
Frost because he's not here.
Yeah, he's watching though. Come on in, Frost.
Yeah. We went over to his house and, he and Kick were there. And the reason I'm saying those names here is because I don't know if they want me to say their names
Their real life names.
on the podcast. I'll let them talk about it. He's working his way through all of it.
Yeah.
But we went over there and that was awesome. The food.
She made an awesome
Ooh-wee.
LTN cake and like cookies and stuff that I saw before you guys saw, and I was really
Yeah,
excited about
you
it.
were in the know.
Oh, those cookies.
I knew about it.
Yeah, they were really good. Make that happen
Those
again, Kick.
cookies were so good. Actually, nothing sucked.
No,
That's just being real.
we're still eating leftovers. She brought over all the.
Are you
the
really?
Spreads.
Ah.
Yeah,
Man, that's making me hungry, and I don't
Sorry.
even know what all was served.
we can't tell you.
Oh,
It's a secret.
Good. Frost made these like little beanie weenie wrapped in bacon.
Yeah, that was a really
And
good.
she
too.
made homemade like thick tortilla chips. Like I don't even know how to. It was. Oh man. Anyway, that was like a day -2 of LTN Con,
You got a feast. Check.
Done.
and we
Easy.
streamed there. And so we
Yep.
played a little bit of Tony Hawk. We played a little bit of Fusion Frenzy, and we just hung out in the ice cube, which is what Frost's little. I say little. It's a lot bigger on stream than it is when you're actually sitting there in it with, 6 people.
And it was not cold. You call it the ice cube, but it was
It was
warm.
hot.
Hot
Well,
cube.
you were in a squirrel suit.
for like part of it.
A squirrel suit.
What's your point?
You said it was hot, man. You had
Oh,
your,
yeah.
your,
You
your,
were
like,
dressed up.
your human fur and then squirrel fur, and so what do you want me to do?
Thank for the life.
Well, we did that, and that was great. And then we took break. I don't think we didn't stream on
No,
Thursday.
we were working on my computer.
We spent
You did
about like
not.
6 hours trying to get Matt's computer to work. And the hiccup was getting 2 cameras.
Yeah.
And we figured it out. We did.
You
We
and
got
Chad
there.
did it. I sat there and watched you.
Yeah, and I leaned on Chad a lot because I don't like Windows is out of my purview. I've been working so long in Mac. I can get almost anything to work in Mac, but when you turn to Windows, I'm like,
Yep.
do I got to be left-handed to work this thing?
Yeah, and that's
Like,
kind of how it feels. Like you're so used to things working a certain way. You
Thank
just
goodness for
everything's
that.
different, but the same at the same time. Like it's
Yeah.
almost there. It's like Bizarro World. It's like the upside
Absolutely.
down. You're like, I
Yes.
recognize this, but when I press this, it does something differently. Where am I? Show yourself.
But Chad was there. Chad, we had Chad and Frost, and both use PC and work. And Chad works on PC for a living, but Luke did it. It's
Sure.
out there. It's out in the open.
Beep.
I use his real name because I've been training myself to do it.
Beep it out.
No, I'm just gonna leave it in. It's fine.
It'll be fine.
And so Luke, he uses like voice meter, banana, and all that stuff, and knows how to get all that working. So I was just getting frustrated, and I worked
Yeah.
professionally in the audio, side of things for a very long time. I was like, I don't know how to get this thing to work with this thing. I can't see it. I don't know what it is. Please just make it work. And there were a
Yeah.
couple of times when I had to like publicly apologize to the room for like snapping or like Kate, I'm serious. Like there was one time where I was just like screaming, Linda, listen, Linda. And
Never was like, I'm not Linda. I'm like, is he talking to you? I don't know.
because
Oh
like
my
they're
gosh.
legit were like 3 or 4 people trying to like give their 2 cents about what should or shouldn't happen, and we were trying to like add stuff and do stuff, and I'm like, we got to stop. We can't add stuff. I walked in on 2 conversations where Matt and other people had decided we were adding another
I
camera.
didn't
and I was like,
decide anything. I thought it was a good idea.
right, and like,
But
so,
then I
so
said,
Luke was
you
like,
didn't
well, I'll
hear
just
it.
go home and get the thing, and I'm like, no.
I said it'd be a great idea, but also we don't want to mess with anything because it took us so long to get just 2 cameras working.
Yeah, Matt is he was a 9. He was trying to be a peacemaker,
Fine.
and he was trying to. Everybody wants everything to happen.
I'm adding another camera right now. You hear me?
Oh,
I do what I want.
gosh.
So, I mean, I did. I had to publicly apologize, and when I did, everybody was like, "I don't know what you're talking about. Like, are you okay?" And I was like, "I thought I was gonna murder everybody in the room. Like, I am the imposter, and I just hacked everybody down."
That's great. I love it.
But it was good, because I did legitimately feel like tensions were very high. There was a lot riding on this, if we're being
There
real.
Yeah.
There was. We are being
and-
real.
And so, like, I felt good. I felt good about how it turned out. And
Yep.
we had that one snafu with the internet at the very beginning. Had to restart the stream, but I think after that it was fine. We were off to the races and everything was good. And we talked about the Matt and Bubba in the morning, and I cannot wait to get that thing going. I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Anything and everything.
Morning.
Yeah.
Morning things.
So I'm excited about that. Excited about that being on Twitch. But then we get into like some of the actual like talks that we had, and holy bejeebers, they were awesome.
They were so good.
Yeah,
I was really stoked. Like, I didn't know. In all honesty, I did not know what to expect from this. I don't think any of us really did.
yeah,
And I was blown away by the people that showed up and the people who talked. Every keynote was killer. Every session was awesome. I learned so much about stuff I didn't know anything about before. I learned about comics. I learned about otaku. I learned about bardic theology.
yeah.
All this stuff. It was so good. I came away from it just feeling awesome. Like I learned so much, and it was really cool to be a part of it.
Yeah, I think that Matt, you probably had the opportunity to watch the fewest of them.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because we were busy doing all the things we were doing, trying to make it work and keep working when it was working. But like, I watched all of them a couple of times because I had to edit them and, get them in all the stuff. Like, that's a whole nother thing. What you guys saw on the internet was first and foremost was not live. Okay. No. I can't believe how many people asked me, is this live?
I mean, there's like actual cuts that you could see. There's cuts like
well, the best one, and this happened at Matt's house.
Oh, we're fine
was
here.
We had like Matt's son, his eldest son, is sitting right next to me during orientation when it's Chris and I on screen, and he's like, "Is this live?" And I just looked at him, and I was like, "Okay." I didn't answer him yes or no because I didn't think that would suffice. And I have a little bit of a relationship with Avon, and I'm like, sometimes Avon in the world, people will ask you, or they will say that there's no such thing as a stupid question, and then moments like this happen where you can point to a definitive moment in time where there are stupid questions.
The lights got in his eyes. I mean, it's like a studio in here, when the lights start coming, you just can't. Just can't,
And like the moment he asked the question, he looked at me. He was like, I know. I was like, let me tell you a story real quick. Let me educate you. And so, but then there was that, and it was probably like even people in the room when like those talks were going on, or, when somebody else would be on the screen that's not us, and we would be like, setting up for a game or something like that. They would be like, hey, is this live? Is this live? Like, it became a joke throughout the weekend. Is this live? Is this live? And the answer is always no. But like the funny thing about that is we're working to try and make it as seamless with live content in the same kind of situation. So to me, it was kind of like a little tip of the hat, a little nod to like how seamless and how well it was going if nobody could tell that it was live. So I think for the most part we can get there. I'm not super like worried about that.
No.
Now that we have, a super fancy computer, I think that like we can kind of blur the lines between, reality
and the fake.
Well, it's only as good as its user, right?
Thank you much. Hey, I'm here. I made it. Stuff's on. Camera's on. Mic's on. Computer's on.
Kate, what would you think? What would you say is your favorite of the sessions? Like the one, favorite is kind of. But what's the one that you think you got the most out of? Even if it's not the most out of, what do you think would be the one that like blew your mind the most? Like you feel like enlightened you in an area.
Well, there was. I've honestly been thinking about this for multiple days, trying to decide which was my favorite.
If you don't say me, Kate, you're in trouble.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't you. It wasn't you. It was.
It was Matt and Bubba.
Oh, it's so hard. I think it was one of Jamie's sessions, the one on the power of a purpose-driven event.
Yeah.
Where I went into that thinking, oh, you're going to talk about how to do an event. I don't know. But I walked away from that session being like, okay, this was about a lot more than just how to do an event.
Yeah.
There was a thing that he said where he talked about balancing authenticity and excellence to create a quality experience.
Yeah.
And that punched me in the soul because for a long time, the past like couple of years with one of my other work situations, I felt like I was the only one that thought that, and that it was an impossible thing to get done. So when he said that, I was like, I'm not crazy. Someone else like thinks the same thing.
Well, let's not.
Moderate.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
I wouldn't go so far as to say you're not crazy. It's just you found another lunatic.
Well, on that particular point.
There we go.
Oh,
on that particular point, I meant. Like, I'm not the only person that thinks that quality and excellence and like authenticity and creating something and sharing it with other people are important things.
Yes.
Like, sometimes it's in situations it is not that way.
Yeah, you and I have had that conversation 100,000 times. And that's where I fall too. I'm like, I will like give on a lot of things in order to make the thing that we're doing be like look cool. and be cool and be something that somebody wants to put eyes
and
on.
be functional and like shareable and enjoyable. And like what he was talking about wasn't solely for a video game event. Really, if you take that mindset, you can apply it to anything.
Any old thing.
And that was just really cool to me to hear that coming from another person's mouth. Like, it really had me hyped. So that was probably my favorite, but it's really hard to pick a favorite. If you want to see some of the keynotes and the other breakout sessions that we're talking about, you can go to youtube.com/lovethynerd and watch them all. I will be watching them all again.
Absolutely. Yeah, we also have lovethynerd.com/YouTube, which just sounds like the same thing backwards because it basically
I was like, didn't I just say that?
No, you said youtube.lovethynerd.com.
Oh, sorry.
.myspace.gov/Friendster at GeoCities. Yep. Yeah, we got it all.
ICQ.
Yeah.
But I don't think that there was a bad one of the bunch.
No.
And
not from what I saw.
I mean,
maybe Matt's.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Good. I did my best.
No, yours wasn't bad. I'm just kidding. It wasn't bad.
No, I mean, it was really good. And, we were able to really put a cap on it with communion. And I hope that you all got the same thing out of that you saw just the sweetness of it. And we really tried to capture that it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from or what you have. It's about the heart and the intent behind it. That, when you do communion, it's as often as you do this in remembrance of me and me being Jesus Christ. And that really puts the whole capstone, like I said, on why we do what we do and what we wanted to express for LTN Con. So yeah, we've got really dope swag that we want you guys to have, and we're going to invite you to partner with us monetarily. But I mean, at the end of the day, we do what we do because of Jesus. And if you decide not to partner with us, we still think that God's going to bless that, and we're going to be able to do like really awesome things in and through Love Thy Nerd by just simply building relationships with nerds that like to play Among Us or, a Destiny or, board games or whatever. It doesn't
Matt's
matter.
playing, yeah.
Hey, that's what we didn't talk about.
What?
We didn't talk about Captain Planet. We didn't talk about Mario Teaches Typing. There's a whole website out there. Crap, I don't even know what it's called anymore.
Type in with Mario.
I'll Google it. But there's a website out there where you can play everything, like all the oldies.
Yeah.
And we played Mario Teaches Typing. Kate, I sent that picture to you, didn't I? Of Chad.
Chad was doing some typing. It's on the Free Play podcast.
Yeah, he did really well.
That was the very first game that Matt's supercomputer played. Was Mario Teaches Typing.
They played it well too. No glitches.
Well, we'll see.
I mean, only when you were playing it because you couldn't.
You couldn't type
that
or
game.
what?
You
completely off.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I'm gonna learn how to type. Don't you get off me.
Just you wait.
Well, we'll be praying for you.
But there were so many things about LTN Con that were going and that were like on and popping. Discord was fire. Holy jeez. I got on at one point and showed Matt, and I was like, what is happening? There's so many people. You should have seen.
Somebody was asking me for Discord help, and I couldn't get any of you guys because you were all busy. So I was like,
Kid, I'm always busy.
Did you try restarting? I just said everything that Bubba has said to me ever. And in the end, I don't know if it helped her.
Who was
she
her?
She just disappeared. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Tyranny. She was our super mod for that, and so she was making people that got registered got access as soon or immediately. I mean, like she had a wedding, I think, on Saturday.
She was at a wedding,
and so she was like on her phone at the wedding. Like,
yeah. I know they do. It's fine. Excuse me.
Oh man, it was so good. But yeah, it was crazy just seeing the amount of people. So
many people.
We had over 100 events. And just crazy. Like mind blown. And I don't think it was like legitimately real until I walked out and Aaron Waltman was doing a Beards and Beyond, D&D session, RPG session, as we were like all standing there. And I was like, crap, like people are doing this. This is crazy.
People
like
are doing all of the things.
We ended up with 234 people registering, which is awesome.
Oh, wow.
So awesome.
That's a big deal.
That's crazy.
That is like, Over trips.
234.
Oh, yeah,
It's
exactly.
over 233. Yep, it's over.
It was over.
Barely.
It was legitimately over 3 times what we had last year at LTN Con in Dallas,
Which was an in-person event.
Right.
Yeah, which obviously makes sense. We've been talking about what are we going to do? Are we going to do an in-person, an online, yada yada yada. We've got to be like, we still have to have the talk, but I cannot see why we would not do another online con.
I know.
It just,
I had that thought so many times during the weekend. Like, yeah.
well, and the fact that everybody, absolutely everybody that I've talked to has just been like, and even the people that we don't like talk to, that they talk about it themselves. They're like, hey, I've been to a lot of online conventions. This one was by far the best, just in terms of quality and how we put it together, accessibility, Discord structure, all that stuff. Like that, you're talking about getting punched in the soul. Like that one hit me because I fought for how we did this convention, and fought is the wrong word, but I was ready to take a stand against anybody who didn't want to do it the way that I wanted to do it, because I was the same way. It's like I have been to some online conventions and it just feels off.
Yep.
There's something about it doesn't feel right. And so we did it the way that we did it. And I'm glad that it came across the way that we wanted it to. And so I don't know. Thank you so much, everybody, for engaging. And before we get out of here, Kate, were there some standouts on socials of how people were using and sharing hashtag LTNCon, showing their swag and stuff?
Yeah, there was a lot of swag pictures. People really like the swag, which, by the way, there's free shipping on the LTN Con merch for the next week or so.
Oh, sweet.
So head over to the store, lovethynerd.com/store.
I didn't know that.
Surprise.
Well, that's why I'm saying it. I know exclusive information. So there's going to be free shipping on all that stuff. So go over there. Doesn't matter if you attended. If you see something you like, go get it. So a lot of people were posting about that and wearing their swag and stuff, which was cool. But I think, well, 2 things. One being that there were a lot of people on social media just straight up supporting us. Game companies, people who were invited to kind of do some speaking on some of the panels, sharing their talks, encouraging people to come and join in. And that was really cool. But for me, what was the coolest was probably the Twitch chat, which if you were there, then it was a fast-paced, poppin' chat full of fun. And I just really enjoyed the opportunity for me and for other people that were in the chat to get to know each other. And I have no idea who these, if you were like, oh, what's that person's real name? I'm like, I have no idea, but they're real funny. They're real funny.
So what's his teeth? Yeah.
Oh, I love him.
So it's such a unique experience to be able to do that, and so I loved being in the chat with all these nerds, hanging out, sharing stuff, getting to know these people. And I don't know if I'll ever see them again.
You'll see their name, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I hope they're in Discord, honestly.
Me too. It was just cool. Just social media really is a ministry tool, and a lot of people don't see it as ever having that job or possibility of function, but it really is. And I think that the emphasis of this con was just all the beautiful ways social media can work for nerds. Yes. I mean, I think when used properly, right? Yes, exactly.
There's a way to use it improperly. But I think, and I don't want to say that, we struck the absolute gold. I mean, honestly, we have a lot to improve on in every single area.
Right.
And we can't wait to hear your feedback. If you do get a survey, do us a flavor, fill it out.
Please.
And fill it out. I mean, it's anonymous. It's going to be 100% anonymous. Seriously, fill it out I don't know, candidly.
Straight away.
Speak truthfully. Don't sugarcoat anything. If you want to leave a testimonial of all the good things, your favorite part about LTN Con, head on over to our Discord server and then go under the LTN Con category. And there's an LTN Con testimonials channel there. Please go and leave that stuff there. But I really want to know, like, legit, like, what can we change? What can we fix? It doesn't really do us great to just like sit in a bubble of, so good, so great.
Like, all right, what's next? And how do we make this better?
Yeah. Well, thank you again to everybody who attended. And you can go back and watch all of the keynotes and the breakouts, everything that was on the main stage. You can just go to lovethynerd.com/YouTube. And there's an LTN Con Online 2020 playlist, I think is what it's called. Something along those lines. And just watch it. You can watch those things a la carte, however you want to. It don't matter to me. And if you still want to get kind of the con feeling, head on over to the store. Get the swag. You can still do that.
Yep.
You can pretend like you were there. Well, hey, I think that we're going to take another short break. And when we come back at the top of the hour here on LTN Radio, we're going to close the show out and give you a couple little salutations, give you some links and all sorts of stuff on how you can find us on socials. But don't go anywhere. Listen to some really dope tunes right here on Le Radio. And we'll see you here with more free play at the top of the hour.
What up, nerd? We hope you're enjoying the podcast. But did you know that Love Thy Nerd showcases most of their content on LTN Radio first? That's right. Check the schedule and listen to most of our shows before they're available here over at LTNOnAir.com. And while you're streaming, you'll also hear the best mix of Christian rock, rap, pop, and indie, and even some content made exclusively for our radio listeners. Stream directly from LTNOnAir.com or download the Live 365 app and favorite LTN Radio. And let us become your new daily soundtrack. You'll be glad you did.
Well, before we get out of here and close out the show, we thought we'd share one more little story from LTN Con with you. And this is something I'm absolutely proud of. This is one of my finest moments. This is not a darkest hour. This is an achievement unlocked for me. This is a platinum trophy, as it were. I ate 10 beef sticks in, I want to say it was less than 10 minutes.
It was less than 10 minutes because the wrappers just started appearing and they didn't stop. They were everywhere.
Where did you acquire these?
Oh, Aaron bought them.
Aaron bought a bag of them, like a large bag of beef sticks meant to be shared among many people.
Well, nobody told me that. I didn't get the memo.
I think what happened is you ate the last couple, and then Aaron almost instantaneously walked in with a whole bag, and then you just went to town.
Oh yeah, this little piggy went to town for sure.
So 10, you said 10 in
10
roughly 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I that might even be a low estimate. It was a lot because every time he gave the bag up, he'd grab like 3 more.
Didn't that hurt your gut?
No, it was glorious. I was worried.
It gave him the grease lining, like around the outside.
Absolutely,
so it's like protection.
I was worried that it was going to be like, because I was boxed in. I was where Matt's sitting right now, but there was a table of people immediately behind me, and if an emergency situation had occurred, we probably would have had to cut the stream.
We'd be fine
because that's not fit for television right there. But
I'm proud of you.
I
felt like $1 million.
Why though? Just weren't any snacks that you wanted, or
they were so.
Here's the thing. We talked about this. We talked about this earlier. Archer Valley or something like that.
Yeah.
Orchard
Valley. Archer Valley. Yeah.
It was Archer Valley. It was it's a Costco brand. We just talked a little bit ago about how Bubba doesn't eat breakfast, but what he doesn't tell you is what he decides to do is about 5 minutes before lunch is served, he eats.
Oh yeah,
whatever's around him.
Hey, for that.
So he decided to eat all these beef sticks just before lunchtime, and instead of just like waiting for lunch, it was ready. And then lunch came, he's like, I'm good.
Oh my gosh!
No, hey, pause. I ate that lunch. Thank you very much.
Nah, I don't know about that.
That was that. Is
that pizza?
That cabbage something? No, it wasn't pizza.
Oh, was it like the pulled pork stuff?
Yeah. It was good, but I got in trouble today. So it was like 11:45, and we had somebody coming over that was bringing pizza today at 12:30, and I poured a bowl of cereal, and Anna's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Stop! Will you get off me? Like, I'm hungry right now."
I just don't. I mean, I guess if you're hungry, but you just couldn't wait 5 more minutes?
It wasn't 5 more minutes. It was going to be an hour.
It was.
Oh, okay. If it's an
beef
hour,
sticks.
then it's a completely
No,
different thing. But
beef
at Matt's
stick
house,
lunch. Yeah, it
sounded
was
like
right there. Mm-hmm.
Well,
It was right there.
Well, you can't say no to beef sticks. I mean, like when they are very good.
They're very good off-brand Costco brand beef sticks. They are very tasty.
They're on brand for me.
Mm-hmm.
Phoo-wee. I mean, if they want to sponsor, you just call me up.
100% grease-fed cows.
Bubba beef stick stall cup.
Yeah,
There it is.
I'm here for it. And so it became a meme, and an emote, and Asia, Luke's wife, who was there the whole weekend, basically just drawing emotes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just fantastic. Something would happen and she'd make an emote out of it.
Yeah,
The Kate one, I think, is the best one.
Well,
of course you do.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just saying.
It's not though.
It's only 10,000 bits. How much money is that equal out to?
That's $100.
No way. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
So Chad paid $100
Yep.
to have a drawing of me holding a chicken.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
That is so great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nobody.
Thanks, Chad.
We don't care about the podcast or the Twitch nearly as much as Chad does.
No, Chad's
so
the
Don't say
number
that. I care. I just
not as much as Chad.
no. Okay.
Have you paid $100 for my emote?
I paid 100 blood, sweat, and tears.
Ooh, wee.
All right.
Well, we'll see. Get out the conversion chart in your Trapper Keeper and let's figure out what the sound of your Trapper Keeper opening. Hey, I think we're going to go ahead and close the show out here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. This has been episode 103 of the Free Play Podcast here in season 3 and the very first episode on LTN Radio.
Baller.
Now, if you're listening to this later, we do releases for this show. Free Play is on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Central Time on LTN Radio. And you can get to that by going to ltnonair.com or popping open the Live 365 app and just searching for LTN Radio. You can then bookmark it from there so you've got easy access to listening. And I would say just listen to it all the time, 24 hours a day. If you turn it off, I'll know. I will know.
Yep. He sees you when you're sleeping. He
God.
knows when you're awake.
Absolutely.
He knows when you've been Bubba or not. So be Bubba, for goodness sakes.
Beef
So
sticks
beef
on
stick.
brand or off
Yeah,
brand.
absolutely.
Yep.
But anyway, I just legitimately love this station and I'm so jazzed. I'm pumped. I'm glad to actually be talking with you all about it. And like we've been working on this for 3 months now.
At least.
Oh man, so good. Also, we have acquired Board Game Wishes. Today, as we're recording this, I was in the Board Game Wishes Facebook group and we were talking about it. And I had a little voice chit chat with Ben Akers, video chat rather.
Yep.
And we talked about it. And I think it was great. It was good to go. I hear your concerns about Discord internet. I hear you. We hope to make it better. That's all I can say. And I hope that by the time we get there in January, that you're ready to go and that you love it and that you move over as a community and you see the potential and the goodness. But we're also going to be listening to you. So be on the lookout for that. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more about that next episode. But if you're not already a part of the Love Thy Nerd Facebook group, just do it. Make it one of your life goals to go to lovethynerd.com/community and you can click right there to get sent to the Facebook. We would love for you to hang out with us. I'd also like for you to go hang out with us in Discord, lovethynerd.com/Discord.
I'm there.
And that's where Matt's there right now.
I had to stop so my video worked the right way, but I will. Okay, I'll be there on my phone.
I hear the clickety clacks. But we want you to go to lovethynerd.com/Discord. Join in on all of the great stuff that we've got going on over there. Just chats and memes and emotes and all sorts of good stuff. We'd love to have you over there. And you can also find Love Thy Nerd on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Love Thy Nerd. And really, that's the socials. That's where we are. Kate's crushing it, blowing it up over there.
Get over there.
Get over there or get square.
Quickly. Quickly.
Hurry before you miss it. Get them while they're hot. And as always, be sure to follow us, Free Play Podcast, at Free Play Podcast on Twitter. Kate is posting the most random of things on that one.
That's what it's for.
Absolutely.
That's what it's for.
It's a dump for sure.
It's a
So
joy.
get ready.
Hey, once again, I'm Bubba Stallcup.
I'm Matt Warmbier.
I'm Kate Katawaki.
And for our cut man, Jonathan Clausen, and now our radio station manager, Matt Coker. We'll catch you next week. And remember, if no one else tells you this, just remember it's true. Jesus loves you, nerd.
You have been listening to the Free Play Podcast with Bubba Stallcup, Matt Warmbier, and Kate Katawaki, part of the Love Thy Nerd Podcast Network. Be sure to rate and review the show and share on all the social media.
Did you stop recording, by the way, or are you keeping it going?